So I got a really good question the other day that was asked, and the question was quite simply, is it possible for the player to come into the golf ball too much from the inside? And the obvious answer is yes, of course it is. I mean, most things in golf, you know, too much can be a good thing, too much can be a bad thing. So what we often find is if you've struggled with coming over the top of it, and you would have taken a lesson or had a look on YouTube or some instruction and understood that the desired path for the club is to come at the ball somewhere from the inside, and to do that, to stop the golf club coming forward, you then get more of a feel that the club head and the club shaft stays much more behind you as you start down. So it's going to give you a very different sensation when you begin the downswing. Now, though it's rare for players to come too much from the inside, what can tend to cause that, especially if you're coming at it from the side that you've been swinging too much from the outside, is that as you start the downswing and you get this feeling of the club head staying behind you, it's very easy to let yourself go too much into what we term as right side bend. Let me show you from this front view. So from the top of the swing, you may create this sort of movement in order to feel like the club's staying more behind you. Now, your problem, of course, with that is head drops back, you're going to end up dumping the club in the ground about a foot behind the golf ball. So what you need to be super careful of is as you're starting the downswing, you'll have that feeling that the left shoulder still stays low as you're feeling that the club head moves somewhere back and behind you. If you remember, Alex Noren, the Swedish player a year or two ago, was making that rather sort of convoluted looking practice swing where he's working on keeping that left shoulder down. You'd certainly rather that occur than allowing that left shoulder to pop up and into the air, and as a result then you've got far too much of this right side bend. You don't want this sort of a look where the club gets behind you too much. So you can see what we've done on the ground here. We've put these 4 golf balls and in sort of a clock face. So here's 12 o'clock, this one's 6 o'clock towards the back camera. Obviously we've got 3 and we've got 9 behind me here. So to prevent this over the top move, but then also to make sure that you don't go and overcook it and just end up dumping the right shoulder into the ground, what I want you to think about, get up to the top of the swing, and then as you start down, get the feeling of taking the club head somewhere down to around about 8 o'clock, let's say. Remember, here's 6 and here's 9, okay? And we're going to do that with a feeling that we're allowing these wrist angles to just open up. Okay, what we're not doing is pulling hard on the handle. We're almost going to feel that the angle formed between the left arm and the shaft starts to open up a little bit. But it's important that you feel that that's going in the direction of 8 o'clock somewhere, okay? And in that way we can get the club coming at the ball nicely from the inside without feeling that the body's gone into this right side bend too quickly. So the clock face analogy, I think, works really well. So from here, we're looking for this type of a movement without going into that right side bend too quickly. And then by doing that, we can get the club coming at the ball nicely on the inside, and you start to hit more of that draw shot.